So you don't know why half the world's population is being starved by a mixture of banks and billionaires. But you don't want to look like a thicky dum-dum in front of all your mates. Here's a quick rundown before your interest repayments make you shut down a school as well. So every single country in the world is laden with an arseload of debt, except the cocky little nation of Liechtenstein and the teeny tiny island of Niue, seen here performing the geographical equivalent of keeping your head down and hoping nobody notices you. Now everyone's in debt because governments borrow money to invest in public services to make their populations not cavemen, I suppose. But low-income countries are in loads of debt because their economies are gutted by foreign firms for their natural resources. But guess what? The banks who lend these low-income countries a load of money to keep their populations alive charge them extortionate interest rates and give them terrible debt terms, because why the F not? You try bullying me with a gutted economy. Interest rates that have been made a lot worse by things like COVID and the crusty orange ballsack Donald Trump forgetting where the Strait of Hormuz is, which causes a global energy crisis and the interest rates on the shitty debts to skyrocket, which means a full 3.4 billion people now live in countries across the world who pay more in paying off their interests than on unnecessary frivolous things like healthcare and education. Take the African nation of Angola, which spends a full 64.7% of its annual income on paying off interest on its debts. This not only means that the people of Angola go without vital public services, but also that the governments have to sell off access to their oil fields because they have to pay off the debts in dollars. Which means the climate crisis gets worse, and the people on the front line of that climate crisis are people from low-income countries, whose countries spend all their money on interest repayments, which means they have to sell off access to oil fields, which makes the climate crisis worse. It's a geopolitical human centipede. Which is exactly why we need to stop these wanky banky banker wankers from milking countries dry like evil little dairy maids. That's why we need our governments to find solutions and provide debt relief to these poor bastards. Because guess what? Lowering the interest payments for these countries would mean 23 million people would be able to access basic sanitation, 11 million would have clean water to drink, and 3 million children would be able to go to school, for Christ's sake. And guess what, right-wingers? That means people would be less likely to migrate because they'd have things like basic human dignity in their own countries. It's almost like it's the billionaire bastard prick arseholes who are the problem, not the migrants.